The night air over Seoul was electric, charged with anticipation and the unmistakable buzz of thousands of hearts beating in synchrony. KSPO Dome, a fortress of glass, steel, and lights, had transformed into a coliseum of dreams, the epicenter of one of the most awaited musical phenomena in modern history. Fans, young and old, from every corner of the globe, had converged here, their energy radiating in waves that could be felt even before the first note was struck. Every seat was filled, every aisle thrumming with the intensity of expectation, yet the atmosphere was more than just crowded, it was sacred. This was a moment that transcended ordinary concerts. It was a celebration of legacy, brotherhood, and artistry incarnate. And then, without warning, the arena plunged into darkness. The hush of tens of thousands was immediately replaced by a heartbeat, a collective rhythm that seemed to echo from the floor to the rafters. Spotlights pierced the darkness, slicing through the air like blades of light, revealing the first figure. Jin emerged, his silhouette illuminated against a backdrop of golden beams. The world seemed to pause as the audience's roar erupted into a deafening symphony of cheers, chants, and tears. Even before his voice cut through the soundscape, the presence of Jin, the eldest, exuded a quiet authority, a gravitational pull that drew all eyes toward him. He spoke, his voice calm yet resonant, carrying across the immense space. "It's been a long time," he said, and in those 3 words, 1,000 memories unfolded. The laughter, the struggles, the countless nights of practice, the first steps of BTS on that long-forgotten stage years ago. Fans responded with screams, so fervent they seemed to shake the very foundations of the dome. Then, as if summoned by collective desire, the stage came alive with movement, and Jungkook stepped into the spotlight. The youngest of the trio, he carried with him the raw magnetism that had become his trademark, a combination of effortless charm, relentless energy, and a presence that seemed to command the universe itself. His entrance was not just a performance, it was an arrival, a declaration that the spirit of BTS was undiminished, still burning as brightly as ever. JHope followed, bouncing onto the stage with the kinetic energy of a storm contained within human form. Every gesture, every step, radiated joy, precision, and fire. Together, the 3 of them formed an unbroken chain of artistry, a fusion of experience, youth, and boundless talent that could only exist at the apex of musical history. The arena trembled as the opening chords of Standing Next to You, ENCORE, cut through the air. Lights exploded in synchronization with the music, and suddenly, the dome was no longer a building. It was a living organism, breathing with the life of tens of thousands of fans, pulsing with the heartbeat of Jungkook, J-Hope, and Jin. What followed was not merely a performance, but a narrative in motion. Every song became a chapter, every interaction a line of dialogue in a story that had been written over a decade but was alive tonight in the most tangible way. Jungkook's vocals, clear and soaring, carried the weight of every triumph and struggle he had faced. J-Hope's intricate movements and rap verses injected electricity into the air, igniting bursts of exhilaration. Jin's emotive expressions and vocal timbre anchored the performance, giving it depth and gravitas. When they shared a stage together, it was not simply entertainment. It was history being witnessed in real time, a testament to endurance, friendship, and artistry beyond compare. Fans, many of whom had traveled across continents, documented every fleeting moment. The _EP_tour Encore Full Fancam 2025 videos began circulating almost instantly, clips going viral as ARMY across the globe watched, rewatched, and shared the spectacle. The visual power of the trio, each movement precise yet organic, each expression layered with intent, was mesmerizing. Comments flooded social media, tears, laughter, screams, and declarations of eternal devotion. For many, it was more than nostalgia. It was proof that the heartbeat of BTS, though channeled now through individual journeys, remained united in a triumphant chorus. The stage evolved with the songs, shifting in color, intensity, and mood. Dark blues and purples swept across the venue during the slower, emotive pieces, creating a dreamlike ambience that enveloped the audience. Golds, reds, and bursts of neon highlighted the high-energy numbers, illuminating not just the performers but the faces of fans, their joy and tears reflected back in a dazzling feedback loop of emotion and spectacle. The choreography was both meticulous and instinctive, a marriage of rehearsal and intuition that only those who had danced together for over a decade could master. And through it all, the trio maintained a magnetic presence, their eyes meeting the audience with intimate acknowledgement, their smiles carrying 1,000 unspoken words. The first song had barely ended, yet the energy did not wane, it only intensified. Every corner of KSPO Dome vibrated with anticipation, and the trio had already established a rhythm with the audience that was almost telepathic. When Jungkook's voice rose again, soft yet commanding, carrying the opening notes of Euphoria, the crowd erupted, a tidal wave of light sticks shimmering like constellations descending from the heavens. It was a moment where time seemed suspended. Each note he sang floated above the arena, touching hearts and stirring memories. The power of his vocals was complemented by JHope's dance steps, precise yet fluid, embodying a kinetic poetry that transformed sound into movement. Jin, ever the anchor, mirrored the emotions of the song in every facial expression, every tilt of his head, every subtle gesture that conveyed the weight of the lyrics to tens of thousands in perfect synchronization. The lighting was an artistic marvel, designed not merely to illuminate but to narrate. As the song swelled, beams of azure and silver intertwined, cascading over the stage and fans alike. The reflective surfaces of the light sticks multiplied the effect, creating an ocean of stars that enveloped the dome. It was not just a performance, it was an immersive experience, a carefully orchestrated universe where every member of BTS and every fan in attendance was both observer and participant. Social media feeds were flooded instantly with clips and live reactions. The hashtag #RUNSEOKJ and ENCORE trended globally within minutes, capturing thousands of voices, thousands of hearts united by one spectacle. Between songs, there was a brief pause, the kind of pause that only amplified the presence of the performers. Jin, with a warm yet commanding smile, addressed the audience, his voice carrying both nostalgia and triumph. "Thank you for being here," he said. "This is not just our performance. It's ours together as one." The simplicity of the statement belied its gravity. Every army member present felt the weight of history, of sacrifices, and of dreams fulfilled through dedication and unwavering passion.